members of the press, thank you for walking this journey with taking of the plea. What made us appear before the court today was the taking of the plea. We have engaged the court regarding the issue of disobedience of the court order that was given to Moses as a suspect under the law on Friday the 10th. And we have gone through the motions, and the judge has this afternoon, the magistrate has this afternoon pronounced herself that although there are serious issues that have been raised by the lawyers for Honorable Moses Kuria, she feels that those issues can be canvassed within file number 106 of 2020, which is the file that we for the application for bail. That file is still pending, and therefore she has proceeded to say that we can take the plea this afternoon. However, upon a further application by the lawyer for Moses, one John Haminwa, the court has agreed to defer the plea until tomorrow for purposes of taking advice, instructions from his client. And I think that's a good thing. I want to applaud the magistrate. I think she's very well founded, and it is sometimes important for us to make these comments and observations, because there are also instances when we also criticize. Rightly so. The courts, and I think in this particular case I want to applaud the court because she has declined the resistance and objection from the prosecution. I think it's an advocate also, the prosecution, to actually be able to give guidance to the police, because the police work also in a way as part of the prosecution, because they are the ones doing the investigations. And I want to speak to the deeper question here. The bigger issue is the violation of the rights of a suspect. And courts must continuously be guided by the Constitution and by the law. And indeed, the main principle in law is that a suspect has very rights and freedoms before trial, and the process of a fair trial must be guarded jealously, and that's maybe what we want. I don't think we are prepared, neither are we going to accept to be intimidated. Then the other question that I need to speak to is the barricading of the court. It is an obstruction to access to justice. The number of police being deployed around the court, including security, is being deployed here. There is obstruction of people accessing justice. Like today, I believe there are many people who may have suffered their cases, because they were not able to access the court as normally they would do. Thank you.
I want to make it very clear here that weaponization of investigations, disobedience to court orders is a precursor to revolutions. And I want to tell this country that when citizens are disenfranchised, their last line of defense is in the judiciary. I want the judiciary put down their feet and ensure that everybody in this country follows the rule of law, obeys the court orders issued by themselves. Failure to stamp authority and the discipline and the jail those who do not obey court orders. The same is going to be applied to them tomorrow. A few months ago, you saw the Chief Justice lamenting that his office is being undermined, and these are indicators that all is not well in this country, and all this mess can be swept away, can be put to the rightful place by the judiciary exercising their independence as enshrined in the Constitution and give no hearing to the people who are disregarding court orders issued by the competent courts of this country.
Good. I think that's enough on the court issues, because the lawyer has spoken, and Honorable Didnas Barasa, who is also knowledgeable in those issues. Mine is to react on something that I've seen busy bodies in ODM speak about, asking the Deputy President to resign, apparently because he's opposing BBI. And I think we said before, and we have said it, nobody in this country is opposing BBI. What we are opposed to is a politicization of BBI to be used as a launchpad for their ODM 2022 campaigns. And maybe just to tell Honorable Junet and his ilk that Deputy President William Ruto was elected just as President Kenyatta was elected on the same as something that will come to you of Kenya. What you have seen ODM now do is to use BBI to divide the people of Kenya. And we said it yesterday, Mr. Odinga has already identified his replacement in Western Kenya for Musalia Mudavadi, for Wetangula. He has identified his replacement in Eastern Kenya for Kalonzo Musyoka. And that is the cause they are on. Therefore, what we are opposed to, and what the Deputy President indicated is opposed to also, is the use of BBI as a small screen to launch their 2022 campaigns. But we have also said, as much as they have every government, just as President Uhuru Kenyatta is part and parcel of this government, just as we in Jubilee are part and parcel of this government, and we are here to stay, we are not going anywhere. It is them in ODM who should be playing their role as the opposition. It is them who are failed Kenyans in playing their role as an opposition to make sure that the Jubilee government implements its policies and the manifesto that we sold to the people of Kenya and implement the Big Four agenda. Therefore, we do not want the sideshows asking William Ruto to resign. Hakuna mahali anaenda na haendi na haenda.
Mheshimiwa, what is your position following the gazetting of the BBI members?
Sorry?
BBI team members, following the gazetting of the BBI team members.
We welcome the gazettement by His Excellency the President, and I think we have been very emphatic. So long as what is being implemented is a BBI report as launched at Bomas of Kenya, we have no problem with it. What we have a problem with, I have said, is a politicization of BBI and using it as a smoke screen for launching dead political careers of some people.
I will address myself to two things. First, on this issue that brought us before this court, and also secondly, on the happenings around Parliament, where ODM said a number of things against the Deputy President. Number one is that today, when we reported to court, 5 citizens of this country, friends of the Honorable Moses Kuria, been arrested and detained in various police stations, though we are told large Capitol Hill police station, simply because they wanted to come to this court and stand with their member of parliament, their representative, somebody they woke up and voted for, and they wanted to be part and parcel of the tribulations that are being meted upon. So we are speaking from this particular place, a very significant institution in our country, that those members of Moses Kuria supporters that have been arrested today should be released immediately, because there is no crime that they committed. They were simply walking to court, and because they had these yellow ribbons, that today we are saying this, we are beginning a campaign of sensitizing the country that you need to stay awake and be alert and remember that impunity is trying to creep back into our country, and we should never allow it. In fact, we want to challenge and request Chief Justice David Maraga to speak on this issue of disobedience of court orders, because he's the head of the judiciary. What happens when one arm of the government is disobeying orders from another arm of government? That's a very dangerous. The alternative to the rule of law is not anything that we want to imagine as a country. If from now we want to we begin behaving the way moments for our country. Therefore, we want to speak that DPP and the Inspector General of Police, please be warned that we shall not tolerate this rollback of the gains that Kenyans paid a dear price for. Secondly, on the issue that has been addressed by members of parliament from ODM, I've heard Junet complaining and saying, oh, Deputy President wants to stop them from meeting Kenyans. the deputy president is not opposed to your meeting of Kenyans. He is opposed to your loitering. There is a world of a difference. When he was in Vihiga, he was fundraising for women groups. You were loitering in Kisii and speaking things that at the end of the day did not leave the citizens of Kisii a better people. If you had gone to Kisii the way he was in Vihiga, by the time he was lifting off out of Vihiga, 100 women groups had benefited from his tour of Vihiga County. When he left so yesterday, a church had been completed, it will be built. That is a development tour. So Junaid Mohammed, my good friend, distinguish between loitering and development tours. And therefore, is what
mambo ya kesi habusu. They are now at Capitol Hill police station. I am not sure they were taking them to Capitol Hill police station or someone's office. It's still not clear to me. But I really want to ask the police, these people woke up in the morning, some came from as far as Nakuru, Nanyuki, the one arrested came from Embu. They have been coming at night only to witness justice. And I want to say this, that even the judiciary should take notice that when you cordon off a place and then you go ahead to arrest people, it's really a bad. They cut your budget, yeah? They will frustrate you in any other way. Outside the judiciary, you're not in a better way than we are. So please, even those people, 5 people, they are Kenyan. I am the problem. Wachilia watu yangu.
Asante. Randolph. Joshua, wanda hiyo capital. Randolph, hiyo capital.